Alright, so we're going to be talking some Nigerian women's football. In this one, we got a number of topics to get into. On today's roster, we have the Flamingos of Nigeria and them qualifying for the Under-17 Women's World Cup. We got Chiamaka Nnadozie and Echegini going toe-to-toe in the French Women's Cup final. And speaking of going toe-to-toe, we also have two other Nigerian players going toe-to-toe in the Turkish Women's League race, the title race over there. It is in the final day, and we're going to be talking about that. And of course, last but not least, the NWFL is at the final day. This will be the last day of the regular season, not today, but tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about those games and how the teams stack up going into the Super 6. But before we get into that though, please make sure to smash your like. Make sure to smash that like button. Really helps the channel. Not going to take you more than a second or 2 or 3 or 4. However long it takes you. It's not going to take you that long. So just help me smash that like and help the channel. Thank you very much. So yeah, where we're going to start from? We're going to start from the Flamingos. They got the job done over the weekend. 4-0 on aggregate against the Algerian side. They win the game in Echegini by 4-0. They go away from home and they play a 0-0 draw against Algeria. Game done. We're into the World Cup. Congratulations to the team. The competition will be played in Morocco this year from the 17th of October all the way to the 8th of November. Now, this will be the first ever time that 24 teams will participate in the Under-17 Women's World Cup. 5 of those teams are going to be coming from the African continent, one being Morocco, which is the host of the competition. Now, we don't know when the draw for the competition will be held, so we don't know who's going to be in the group with the Flamingos. But when that is found out, I will let you guys know. Now, when it comes to the team's last matchup, of course, I would have liked the team to get a win in that game, but that's really not a factor at all because we've qualified. That would have just made us feel good, made us look good, but the job was already done, and the job was done on that day because they could have easily given up 4 goals. I mean, they didn't concede. You got to give them that credit that they didn't concede. They stayed real tough. The defense was really unbreakable on the day. Yes, the Algerian side did hit the woodwork once, but for the most part, the team held them off just like they held off the South African side. So you got to really credit the team on that. But of course, going forward, we're not going to hide from the issues. We didn't look good going forward unless it was a moment of brilliance. If you look at, the goals we scored, you had a set piece goal, but the other 3 were clear moments of brilliance. It wasn't like a team goal in there anywhere. It was straight up player outside the box smacking it and it going past the goalkeeper, which we saw at the World Cup. It worked in the group stage. But when you get out of the group stage, you start playing those teams that are playing for something, teams that are coming for the trophy. There's a number of teams that go to these competitions and they're looking for first place. These are the upper echelon teams, and when you play them, it's not all about talent or physical skills or anything like that. It's really about your plan and how you go about it. The mistakes that you don't make and allow the other team to pounce on. And they're not just going to stand there and allow you to shoot from afar. They're going to make sure to do things to deter those type of strategies. So you got to have plan B, you got to have plan C. Not saying that the plan A, shooting from far, is the worst thing in the world. But I'm saying when teams show that, look, we're not going to allow this. You can beat us any other way but this. And you don't look for any other way to beat them, that's a problem. That's a problem. And yes, I feel like you shouldn't really put down the performance in the second leg because it was job done. They did the job. There's nothing to talk about. You wanted a World Cup ticket or you didn't want a World Cup ticket. It's only 2 things. So they got the World Cup ticket. But I just feel like that second leg just showed us what we saw at the World Cup. It is some teams, yes, you could do that, shooting from afar and win. But when the team comes with a plan and they're saying, we're not going to let you shoot from afar. How about that? We're going to make sure we defend you in a way that those shots don't mean much. How about that? then you have problems. Then you have the USA game from the last World Cup. And that's all I'm coming up with. I don't feel like the players are bad. I don't feel like they need to be changed. All of them dropped. I mean, they have done a fantastic job. I mean, you played against teams that definitely have a bigger war chest than you do. Definitely have better facilities than you do. But you still got the job done with style, with a lot of gap between you and them. It wasn't looking close. So we definitely have to give them credit, even though we surely have to improve. But moving on, and we're going to go to France. Chiamaka Nnadozie, Jennifer Echegini going toe-to-toe in the French Women's Cup final. That's the Coupe de France Féminine. That's going to be played this Saturday, the 3rd of May. That will be next month, early next month, basically. Is it this week, right? Or this weekend. And the game starts 2 p.m. Nigerian time. This will be an opportunity for Chiamaka Nnadozie or Jennifer Echegini to pick up their first trophy in France. Would be a long time coming for Chiamaka Nnadozie. And on the other hand, it would be, I just came and I grabbed a trophy for Jennifer Echegini. So two different situations right here. Definitely wishing both of them luck. I'm not going to be supporting anybody in this game right here because, of course, these are two big-time players for us, so I can't really pick sides in this type of situation. One of the greatest goalkeepers in our history and a young midfielder that we see can do really, really great things in our future. So this is going to be a real great one. Also in France, you got the French League playoffs coming up. The French League playoffs, last time, I don't know how they're going to be running it this time, but last time you had the top 4 teams. They play in the French League playoff. The first team plays the 4th team. The second team plays the 3rd team. Whoever wins goes to the final, and the winner at the final is the champion. And I feel like this year, both Jennifer Echegini and Chiamaka Nnadozie have a chance to win the French Cup and the French League playoffs. I don't see Lyon as a team that should be feared like they were in the past. I think this is a team that can beat you. This is a team that has quality players, but it's like a boxer that you've seen get knocked out. You've seen them get knocked out so many times that you're like, look, this is possible. A team like Paris FC has played against Lyon and, you know, given them all they could get, just like PSG. And I feel like Paris FC, most especially, this is a team that can beat both Lyon and PSG, but they just have not done it. I feel like if you watch those games, even the highlights that I've put out whenever PSG or Paris FC play Lyon, it's always a game that, especially on the Paris FC side, they've dominated both Lyon and PSG this season. To get a win is a different issue, but if you look at shots on target, if you look at the chances created and things like that, it's all going to Paris FC. But at the end, Lyon and PSG just find a way to get the job done against Paris FC. So the story of this competition, these two competitions right here will be, can Paris FC find a way to get the job done? Because if they can, I believe they can win both of these competitions. Now, I do feel the same way with PSG. So I feel both of them can get the job done. It's just crazy that Lyon got knocked out early in the French Cup, and this is a chance for either one of these teams. And I do feel they also have a chance in the league situation. So this could be real crazy. And when you look all around, you look at Spain, you look at England, you look at the USA, you look at a lot of leagues, and you don't see African players at the top teams no more. Like in the US, of course, Barbara Banda won the league, but it's not looking like Orlando is going to win it this year. Even Chiwenga's sister, Tabitha Chiwenga's sister that plays for, is it Kansas City? It's something, I think, a team like that. I apologize not knowing the team offhand, but it doesn't look like they're playing at the same level as they did last season. England, no African player really at the top teams. You, like I said, Spain, the same thing. So France, really, a player from France could win the African Player of the Year. That's where I'm getting at. I know you're like, get to the point, sir. Yes, that's my point. I feel like a player out of Chiamaka Nnadozie and Joe Echegini. There is Kajenga over there with Paris PSG. There is Tabitha Chwenga over there with Lyon. I feel like if somebody gets their hand on the French league, that's a big one right there. And also, if somebody can get their hand on both. Now, Tabitha Chwenga might be put out of the equation for only winning the French league, but imagine PSG wins the French Cup and French League playoffs. This would mean that Jennifer Echegini has 2 trophies at the end of the season, 2 big-time trophies, just like the same thing with Chiamaka Nnadozie, 2 big-time trophies. So it will be real hard when everybody's season is over, especially you look at the United States. Their season just started. When you look at other seasons that are just started, when all the seasons are over, you do have to have a good WAFCON. Now the WAFCON is coming up in July. You have to have a good competition there. But if you put all those things together, I feel like having 2 trophies right there will give you a big jump start, that even making it to the semifinal in the WAFCON could be just the final straw in giving you the award right there. So I feel like these are big time matchups right here happening in France. And I wouldn't be surprised if the African Player of the Year will come out of this country this time around. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Turkish Women's League. The Turkish Women's League is on and popping, y'all. So at the beginning of the season, of course, Tosin Demehi and Floyd Sebastian both joined Galatasaray. Another big move into the Turkish league was Suliat Abideen. She made the move basically before the CAF Women's Champions League. We talked about that. That was a big time blow for Edo Queens. And she made the move to the Turkish league. She's been playing for them consistently. Actually scored 2 goals in their last matchup, which we're going to be talking about in a second. But she plays for Flamingos. Flamingos, as you see the league table on top of the log. And right behind them is Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce, also the home of a Super Falcon player, and that's Regina, Super Falcons midfielder. She plays for Fenerbahce, has played a big role in their season so far, just like Suliat Abideen. And here you have a big time race that is down to the wire. And one more match in the league this season. Flamingos will be playing Galatasaray. Flamingos will be playing ALG Sport. No, my bad. Flamingos will play Galatasaray, while Fenerbahce will play ALG Sport. So these are 2 big matchups right here, and it's looking like they're probably going to be using goal difference to decide who's going to be winning this season in the Turkish women's top flight. As you see, both Flamingos and Fenerbahce are on the same spot in the log, but when it comes to goal difference, I think that's where the issue comes in. That's where the separation comes in. My bad. So Flamingos has scored 96 goals so far this season, conceding 17. Their goal difference is 79. While when you come to Fenerbahce, scored 84 goals this season, conceding only 10. That's the least amount of goals conceded in the league this season. And they have scored, their goal difference is 74. So you got +5 when it comes to Flamingos and Fenerbahce. And it's kind of a wild story because it was not +5. Flamingos was behind Fenerbahce on goal difference. Then they played this last match and they just won by 12 goals to 1. I know Fenerbahce is like, come on now, what are you doing? So they won their last matchup by 12 goals to 1, and that's what bumped them above Fenerbahce. So this last day, I don't know. Like I said, Fenerbahce is playing a pretty good team in ALG Sport, while Flamget is playing a really tough team in Galatasaray, the only Turkish women's side to qualify for the Champions League group stage. So they're definitely not no pushovers. I think it was just kind of tough balancing the league and the Champions League. They did pretty poor in the Champions League, and the league they lost grip on the top. So I think that's gonna be a tough matchup. Galatasaray, let me keep it real now. Galatasaray could give up 20 goals in this game. I'm gonna throw that out there. They do not like Fenerbahce. It doesn't matter, it's a women's team. Galatasaray could give up a lot of goals. I think the one thing is maybe there could be getting back in the continent with third place. If third place is a continental slot, I still think they'll give up 20 goals just to like give the middle finger to Fenerbahce. So that's one to watch out for right there. Wishing both players the best of luck when it comes to Suliat Abideen, midfielder, and also midfielder Regina too. Whoever wins it, congratulations to you. Whoever doesn't, you're still a champion. You guys did a fantastic job this season. So definitely had to talk about those two right there. Then the NWFL. The NWFL is down to the final, the final day of basically the league. Then you go to the Super Six. So you look at the group table, the league table. I don't know what it's the group table because it's different groups. Anyways, Group A, you got Edo Queens on top, Nasarawa Amazons second, Remo Stars Ladies third, and there's nobody getting in that top three. The top three teams qualify for the Super Six. There's nobody getting in there mathematically. And I got to give credit to Abia Angels. There's no difference between them and the sides under them. It's just that they really, really, really overachieved. They had a fantastic season. Mary Lucky Nkpa, you are a top class player. Every game I watched, I was impressed with Mary Lucky Nkpa. She is definitely a fighter, definitely a player that I would pay money to watch. She's really that good. But like I said, there's none to fight for when it comes to the top three apart from placement. The second and the third team, who's going to be second, who's going to be third, that's between Nasarawa Amazons and Remo Stars Ladies. Then you move to Group B. You got Bielsa Queens on top, Rivers Angels looking good at number 2, then Naijabiasfc on number 3. So in Group B, the only thing up for grabs is the third place. So that's between Naijabiasfc and FC Robo Queens. That's going to be a tough one right there. Whoever gets that spot makes it into the Super 6. Naijabiasfc and FC Robo have home matches. So it's not like somebody is away, somebody is at home. You're like, okay, you win your home match, they lose away, and that's that. No, both teams have home matches. Only one goal in goal difference separates both teams. So this is going to be a real tough one right here. And you look at the matchups that we're going to have. We're going to start with Group B because we got to talk about that matchup. FC Robo will be playing Delta Queens. Then you have Naijabiasfc hosting Bielsa Queens. Like I said, these are tough matches. Both of them are at home, but these are tough matches. Naijabiasfc, Bielsa Queens, nothing really to play for, but they could be one of those teams that want to be the first team out of everybody. So when you add up Group A and Group B, you want to be the top, and that could be what they're fighting for. Because Edo Queens on 32 points, Bielsa Queens on 33. So somebody would want to be the top of the toppy top. So that might be the issue right there, why Bielsa Queens will be trying to win this match. Then, of course, Delta Queens, FC Robo, I think it's much easier for FC Robo because Delta Queens really don't have anything to play for. And you got to think about it. You just need a draw if you're FC Robo. So it's not like you have to do groundbreaking stuff right here. You just get a draw and you make it into the Super 6. And that's that. So I don't think that's too much to ask right there. I'm just saying. The other matches in the group, Adamawa Queens, Ibom Angels, You look at the bottom, Adamawa Queens not looking like a team that is going to be relegated. Mathematically, they can't be relegated. They're 4 points above Benue Queens, so nothing comes up right there. Then the other matchup, Rivers Angels, Benue Queens. Rivers Angels, that means there's not much in that. Like I said, you're already relegated if you're Benue Queens. Then the other group, Edo Queens taking on Confluence Queens. I think I messed up when I was talking about the group tables because there is a relegation fight going on, y'all. I got to go back to that before I talk about Group A. The matches in Group A. There is a relegation fight. The only team that can't go down right now is in 5th position, Ekiti Queens. Dana's Ladies, there's a chance, a slim chance, but there is a chance. Heartland Queens, there's definitely a chance. Confluence Queens, definitely a chance. So the relegation fight is definitely on and popping. Even though one team gets relegated, there is more of a relegation fight in the NWFL than the EPL. I'm just throwing that out there if you wanted to know that. But you look at the group, the matchups, the fixtures in Group A. Edo Queens taking on Confluence Queens. They need to win that. I mean, you got to come with a bag of money right there to get that one. Let's just keep it real. Bribery and corruption is the only way Confluence Queens defeating Edo Queens. Unless maybe Edo Queens coach is like, you know what, I'm just going to give my little kids some playing time. People who have not played all season and they screw it up. Because Confluence Queens is not the worst team in the world. They could get something together if they're not playing the real Edo Queens side. I think they could have a chance. Ekiti Queens, Abia Angels, that's going to be a tough matchup. I feel like Ekiti Queens have really underachieved this season. They have some pretty good players, a really good goalkeeper, so I really can't understand where their issues are coming from. But this is a real tough matchup right here. I would like to see this one because these are two good sides. These are two really good sides. So this would be a good matchup if they're both interested in it because, of course, there's none really to play for in that regard. Heartland Queens, Nasarawa Amazons, that game right there would be a tough one. But Heartland Queens, they need to get a result in that. That's not a playing matter right there. They need a result or they're going to be really just hoping Edo Queens do what Edo Queens should do. And in life, you really don't want to rely on anybody because anything can happen. I'm telling you. Even though it looks like Edo Queens already have the 3 points on paper, you would want to get your own job done if you're Heartland Queens. And I feel like Heartland Queens have a good team. It's really shocking that they're in the relegation spot from what I've seen from them this season. Let's just put that out there. Remo Stars Ladies, Dana's Ladies. That's going to be a good one right there. Southeast Derby type situation. I think that's going to be a good one. Dana's Ladies have been picking it up, even though they're really underachieved this season. I wouldn't say underachieved because this is a relatively new team, but I feel they could have done better with the quality they have. They do have quality. I've seen them when they play good, and you're like, why can't you be this good all the time? But that's what happens when you have young players. So, but moving on to Group B, and like I said, in Group B, the only thing that's really on ground is that 3rd place position, and no relegation race, no other race involved. So we're gonna start with the 3rd place teams. The teams vying for the 3rd place. Naijabiasfc will host Bayelsa Queens. Of course, Bayelsa Queens on top of Group B. Naijabiasfc, that's a big matchup right there. They'll at least need to get a win in this one because the next matchup, FC Robo hosting Delta Queens. I'm pretty sure FC Robo will be able to get a W in that one. So this will be real tricky right here for Naijabiasfc. And looking forward to seeing how it all turns out. Then you got Adamawa Queens taking on Ibom Angels. Two teams with really none to play for. So that'll be interesting right there to see how they both come out for this one. Then, of course, Rivers Angels hosting Benue Queens. Benue Queens already relegated. None they can do about it. Rivers Angels with none really to play for. The 2nd place is already secured. They can't get 1st place. So I think they'll just play a regular match right here, try to stay injury free. I think they're gonna get the result in this one. They'll get all 3 points. How bad they beat Benue Queens, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on these games and how you think things stack up in the final week of the NWFL season. Put it in the comment section. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.